they have done it, even making their way to the top above Hutty and Fishy X and Izzy and Nosif. As expected, Mini Miner, the French have turned up in style.
They have. I mean, Izzy and Nosif, finally you can breathe. This is unbelievable. But Momsy and Sato, what a performance from those guys. There were questions, were they actually going to be pushed by Mr. Savage there at the end? Were they going to have some off-spawn difficulties, of course, earlier on in the game? But what they did, they showed up and they showed out here in this final game. They didn't let the pressure get to them. They didn't crumble. They even took out their most direct competition there in Mr. Savage themselves. It was almost a flip of what we expected and a lot later on in the game. But for Sato, Momsy, they have so much potential on paper. They're such a good team. And we've always said we want to see French fans on LAN. We saw how good they were at Lyon. We've now got 2 French duos here qualified at Globes.
What a monumental fight there with Sato versus Mr. Savage. That was literally everything. Savage, I believe, needed a top 2 finish to pass Izzy and Nosif that were at 251, so it was incredibly close. But Momsy, Sato, Izzy, Nosif, Huddy, Fishy, they got the job done.
Yeah, that high ground challenge from Sato and Momsy onto Savage and Truly was something else. As we like to say in Fortnite, Momsy and Sato took it by force, and we're going to see them at the Fortnite Global Championships in Antwerp. Let's take a look, though, at the overall leaderboard for tonight, because there were some surprising emissions, I think, in the top 10 in terms of the duos we expect to see do well. But Chap and Flixie, my word, Takata, the performance that they put on tonight, also fantastic to see Vico and Malabuka showing up in that last game.
Yeah, got the job done. Chap Flixie dominating first place, not even making it that close. Vico, Malabuka, we saw the performance Major 2 didn't kind of meet expectations coming from Summit, having won it, but, you know, they picked it up in the last chance qualifier. Second place, not bad at all. I dropped Gonzo as well, shout out to them for the 3rd place. Overall, solid performances.
I think it's really useful for these duos, these big names, to actually sometimes have bad performances, because that's how we see the likes of Sky and Scroll go from having difficult moments in the Major 2 heats to fixing what went wrong. And I imagine that they'll be doing a lot of VOD reviewing going up to the Fortnite Global Championships. As for some of the duos that didn't make it, obviously heartbreak for Mr. Savage and Truly. They really did fight towards the end of this lobby tonight, Takata, but it wasn't to be.
Yeah, no, it was an incredible performance either way. It's heartbreaking, right? Especially coming from Major 2, you win game 1, it was looking so strong, and then you end up getting 24th. You get one last chance, one final qualifier to make it happen, and then you're again one placement off qualifying. But Mr. Savage, truly, I mean, Savage has been around since the start of competitive Fortnite. He's one of the founding pillars of EU competitive, so I'm sure we'll continue seeing him as the season goes on.
Yeah, definitely. They gave it their all. You know, no notes from me really in this last game from these guys. They did absolutely everything that they could. Unfortunately, Sato, Momsy, they had a good game. If Sato, Momsy didn't have a good game, they went down on spawn, whether it's them that pushed them or someone else, they would be a team that would be in the top 3, right? They thought they probably would have done enough, but of course, Sato, Momsy just absolutely clutched up there at the end. But I think they can really sort of hold their heads up high. I think, you know, we've seen a real development of that duo throughout this season. We've seen them playing solo. We saw a really tough performance in terms of heats, particularly from Truly. I know it was Savage doing a lot of the solo clutching there. Then when it came to the major finals, we got to see them win a game as well. The world was lit up, the eyes were lit up for every one of the Savage fans. And I really do hope they stick together, because I think they have a lot of potential. They have the right sort of ingredients to make a good long-term duo. And I think that's going to be really important now for Mr. Savage to hopefully kick on and have a better end to the year in things like solos and other competitions in the future.
Well, it is a long way before we see FNCS Major 1 next year, so we'll have to wait and see. But let's look ahead to Fortnite Global Championships, guys, because we're sending 21 duos from Europe. I think potentially it's coming back to Europe again, Takata, when I look at these incredible names.
Yeah, look, after the, we talked about Vico Malabuka winning Summit. There was also a heartbreaking end to Sky and Scroll. They were the favorites throughout the whole competition. The LAN that kicked off competitive this year. So at Global Championships, I want to see Sky and Scroll continue the domination that they showed in the majors.
Anything less than first would be a disappointment for these guys, I think, Mini Miner.
Yeah, for sure. That's the level they've set themselves now. That's the expectation. They're going to go in as serious favorites from the EU region. Shark and Teeny, another team, of course, that I'm particularly excited to see light up the big in-person stage. And even Chap and Flixie, really impressed with how they've played today. I think they've taken a lot to develop. And, you know, of course, they did have that experience at Summit. They, of course, qualified through. I think they were the last team, actually, that qualified through those Summit finals. So they have that experience on land together now. And I do have a really good feeling about this duo as well. Obviously, it depends on how they're going to play in that next meta, how they're going to adapt to things when it comes to globals, but that's a team I'm going to keep my eyes out on as well when it comes to Antwerp.
Well, the NAC broadcast will be coming up shortly, so this is a message to them and all the other regions watching around the world. Europe is coming for the crown in Belgium, and ain't nothing stopping our duos. We cannot wait to see you guys in Belgium. For us now, though, on the European broadcast, we've done our jobs. We have got our duos. We're sending them to the top, and right now we're saying goodbye to you. So thank you so much for watching. Let's sound that horn.